Hey everybody, just wanted to remind you, it is just a few short weeks left to get entered to win our 2020 Ford Mustang GT that we built here on our channel. Every dollar you spend on throtl.com is an entry to win this thing. And if you're already a VIP member or you're thinking about it, you might want to do it because every dollar you spend is 5 entries to win this thing. And I will tell you, this car is amazing. I've been driving it a lot and I've absolutely fallen in love with this thing. You should want to win this one. I'm excited about it. I hope I'm handing one of you guys the keys. This morning, Quinn got started by removing our stock front fender. This is just a teaser for you guys. We've got the GT350 fenders mocked up. And the reason we're doing this is because Quinn and I wanted to make sure that these fit properly before we have them painted. We made the mistake last time of just sending them off for paint because we know the Anderson Composites stuff fits spot on and didn't realize they were for the wrong year car. So now we got the right ones, and I think we actually got a better set this time. We actually got full carbon. Before they were just fiberglass. And these ones actually have the carbon fiber insert, so you guys guessed it, we're gonna leave those carbon. The rest of the fenders will get painted. Again, like all the other Anderson stuff that we've put on this car, the fitment is absolutely impeccable. This isn't even tightened down yet, so this is just loosely fitting on here. So these molds are spot on and the parts fit as though they're factory. So Quinn and I will drop those off at Torrey Pines Collision today and have some Oxford white sprayed on those. And as soon as they come back, we'll go ahead and toss them on the car. I think it looks sick. This is one of the mods that I was most looking forward to. Can we just have a look inside this wheel well? Look how business this looks. Man, it looks sick in here. Aside from that stuff, we also have some other parts going on the car today. We're gonna install our carbon fiber dash. Very comprehensive. It's actually 2 layers here. There's a bunch underneath here as well. And this is all overlay stuff for the interior. The weave looks really nice, and this is the centerpiece, so this one's the most important. Last but not least, we've got the LED side markers that we ordered. I already unplugged the wiring harnesses from those. Now I just gotta pop them out and pop these in and re-plug them in. Probably the simplest install we've ever done around here. And they look great too. Let's check it out. Hey, dang. LEDs. And I'm gonna go ahead and move in here to the dash panel, the door panels and all that. Nice around the vents. Actually quite impressed with how well that rolls in. You don't see any sign of it being an overlay, which is pretty cool. Really nice fitment.
Yeah, I was gonna say it just like snapped in and that was it. Yeah, that looks like an actual replacement unit, not just like a layover.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's nice because it's true carbon. It's very thin, like paper thin. And I'm just making this car harder and harder for me to give away. That's a wrap on all the carbon bits. I think it looks pretty sick. Really ties the carbon accents together in the interior. We go all the way through the doors. In the back here, we even have some carbon trim panels on the interior paneling. Really, really nice touch. Loving it. This car is really turning out fantastic. All right, well, we just picked up the fenders from our friends up the street at the paint shop, and they look sick. You wanna check them out? It's fresh coat of Oxford white. After we test fit them, went ahead and popped the grills back in. Quinn tightened down the bolts on the back. I think it looks pretty sick with the carbon inlay. Kind of goes along with the rest of the theme of the car. Quinn already started taking the fenders off because we were anticipating picking these up today. We're gonna go ahead and slap them on now. This fender is basically a replica of the GT350. And the reason they call it a replica is because the GT350 fender, from what I understand, is about 20 mil wider. Now this one does have the extra width. It is 20 mil wider than the factory GT fender. But the hood in this area here is a little different on the GT350. And this is also a GT350 style hood meant to fit a GT. They basically use the GT for those areas, and then they adapted the GT350 styling into the fender and added the 20 mil width. So it's kind of a mishmash of the GT fender and the GT350 fender in one, and I think it is the perfect look for our car. This is such a cool part that Ford came up with. This actually goes inside here and pinches the fender and bumper together. Really smart idea. I don't know why other manufacturers haven't thought of this.
You like it?
I'm happy with that. Nice gap. Nice job, Anderson Composites. These are really nice. All right, well now we're just finishing up the fine tuning. We left all the hardware pretty much loose on along the top. The bottoms are tight. We've got our gaps adjusted. Now we're gonna bring the car down and just snug everything up, put this side back together, and we'll move on to the other side.
So, Mr. Mickey, what is this beautiful RTR box we got here?
Well, this is our second RTR front spoiler, or front lip chin spoiler. Needed this one while I was on vacation. Victor the lip killer. So we ordered up a new one so that whoever wins this car gets a nice fresh lip on it. As long as we don't give Victor the keys to the car, this thing will be safe and sound for its new owner. So Quinn and I are gonna toss that on today. We also have these sweet canards that go on the front bumper. These are made specifically for the S550 Mustang and specifically the 2018 and up front bumper. Now these are something I wanted to add straight out of the gate to the car, but unfortunately they were on back order, and during these COVID times, they were sitting on a container in the ocean for a couple months. So we finally just got them. We'll go ahead and toss them on today. They are fitted for this car specifically, and they fit somewhere in like that. And as you can see, we've got a bit of a clearancing issue here. So I'm gonna have to trim out our RTR air guides, just the bottom edge off of here, so these sit nice and flush in here. All right, got our RTR air guide trimmed up. I'll take about a 1/4 inch off the bottom of it, off of here, and then nut started the bumper so that this will just bolt on now. If I did this right, this should all line up. Oh no. Oh no. Very nice. Fits like a glove. So I went ahead and grabbed some basically like flush style Downstar hardware with a nice little flush black aluminum washer. This should kind of help these hide a little bit. You never want the fasteners to be the focal point of what you're doing. Well, at least I don't. But Frank at Downstar might like that, but I like the hardware to kind of hide a little bit. And nice thing is Downstar offers a lot of blacked out hardware, which is cool. One other thing that we picked up recently, we should have gotten these straight out of the gate. This is basically the front lower arm. Now you guys saw Quinn install this particular one here, and this is actually a Ford Racing part, which is great. It's definitely an upgrade over the factory arm. However, since we are using a bump steer kit, we are supposed to be using a front lower control arm that adjusts the roll center so that we can actually make good use of this bump steer kit versus just using it basically at its highest position. So the one thing we learned about these is that you want to keep the tie rod and the lower control arm at the same angle so that as it travels through its range of motion, you're not developing Ackerman or other weird suspension geometry issues. And you can see how much taller this this portion of this arm is in comparison to the one that we have on there. So
it moves the arm down.
Moving the arm down, yeah.
So then we can adjust our bump steer kit down more. Yeah.
Whoever wins this car is gonna have a really dialed street and track car. That makes me happy. Quinn's been working on these Steeda lower control arms. They're now installed. Don't worry about this bind in the rubber boot. We're gonna go ahead and get that sorted out. But what I wanted to show you guys was how the Steeda bump steer kit actually works. You can see all these washers that Quinn has stacked in here. What you're ideally trying to do is make the tie rod match the same angle as the lower control arm. So we've got that accomplished now, and it required the big fat washer and then one of the medium washers. You can see where we were before we went to the Steeda lower control arm. We've got this big stack down here on the bottom. Now this was actually working properly, but with the new lower control arm and the bump steer, the roll center correction, the car's gonna handle a lot better, and we're gonna get rid of all the bump steer with this kit paired with this arm. So that's really exciting. It should make the car handle a lot better, be a little more like it's on rails.
We're gonna need to get an alignment next.
Yeah, now we're gonna have to center back for an alignment. It is, suspension wise, this car is, I don't know what else we could throw at it, to be honest. There's really not a whole lot more. Every arm's basically been replaced or upgraded. So huge shout out to Steeda. If you guys have a Mustang or Ford product, I definitely recommend checking them out. Also, APR has really nice carbon goodies for the S550 chassis. So if you're in the market, want to make your car look a little more aggressive and handle a little better at the track, check both of those partners out. They've got some good stuff. I'm taking a moment to actually apply some leading edge tape is what this is called, and this is an old school trick that I learned from a couple racers way back in the day. This is before clear bra even existed. This film is essentially just a clear sticky film, and it was originally invented for like the wings of airplanes and the front edge of the helicopter blades, hence the name leading edge tape. We're using this clear tape in all the locations where it may be an issue that we get some rock chips. So we'll go ahead and lay this in. I'll trim it out real nice back here, and we should have no issues with rock chips. Okay, well, while we got these wheels off, we're gonna go ahead and toss these center caps on. Pretty nice look. And before we had just the dust caps on here, so you could see those through the wheel. Not everybody's favorite look. I don't mind it, honestly. I think it's a very racy style. But these will look good on the wheels as well. So let's pop them in. Let's have a look. Oh, she needs a wipe. Oh man, this is just how I knew it could look all along. This is about as close to the final version of this Mustang as we're gonna get. This is pretty much all the parts that we acquired for it. Finally got the fenders on. Man, this has been a fun process. I am gonna miss this car. One of you guys is gonna be a very lucky person that wins this, because this car is absolutely epic. This is the most I've become attached to any vehicle that we've given away, and I'm gonna have a hard time handing the keys over. I'm looking forward to taking this thing to the car meet tomorrow morning and showing it to everybody and enjoying it a few last times before we draw somebody's name out of the hat and hand over the keys. So Hope you guys enjoyed the content. Got that new carbon fiber interior, got those new running lights in the rear bumper. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. Leave us some comments down below. Just thumbs up. We love you guys. We'll see you in the next one.